Okay, on practice test 26, this one has a lot of stuff going on too. It says the graph below shows a linear relationship between x and y. And based on the graph, which equation best represents the relationship between x and y? So I know it's a linear relationship, and I know that means I can use y equals mx plus b, okay, where m is my slope. And I can find out my slope because I have 2 points here. So slope is the change in y over the change in x. And it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so I have my x's here would be, let me move this up so I can see if you can see it. Okay, so you've got a 2 and a 6. And a 5 and a 3. So I'm going to go ahead and label this underneath here. This will be x1, y1. This will be x2, y2. Okay, so we've got y2 is 3. So you've got 3 minus y1, which is 6. 3 minus 6 over x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 2. Okay, so 3 minus 6 is negative 3, and 5 minus 2 is positive 3, which leaves you, so that leaves you with negative 1. So your slope equals negative 1. So let's look at the different ones that have up here. So we can go ahead back up here. We can put y equals negative 1x plus b. Okay, so if you see that, you know definitely that b is not going to be your answer, and c is not going to be your answer because they do not have a negative slope. So that's definitely not it. Now, okay, so let's look. We've got to find b. And actually, I know that b is the y-intercept. That is why it's called the slope-intercept form. Okay? So that's the slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept equation is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. Intercept is the b. Okay? So if you look here, the intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So we're going to look up here at the y-axis. Okay, here's the y-axis. It crosses at positive 8. So that means b is going to be positive 8. So I'm going to put b equals positive 8 right there, and then you can see. So then we're going to move down just a little. So y equals negative, and since the 1 is just assumed, you can just put negative x plus 8. And that will leave you, it's not this one because that's a minus 8, that will leave you with a for your answer. Now, if you didn't have a graph, another thing you can do would be to go ahead and look back at this, and you've got, let me see here, move this up a little, okay. Well, actually, let me move it over to the side here. Okay, so I'm going to put y equals mx plus b, okay, and you know that slope is negative 1, so you got y equals negative 1x plus b. And what you would want to do here is just substitute one of the sets of coordinates. It doesn't matter which one. If one has a 0, that would be the set to use, but neither of these have a 0, so you can just choose either one. Now your x, I'm going to choose the 0.26. Okay, so I'm going to substitute 2 in for x, so minus 1 times 2 plus b, and 6 goes in here for y. So that would be minus 2 plus b equals 6. To get rid of this minus 2, you would plus 2 on both sides. Those would cancel. 6 plus 2 would be 8. 8 would be b. And that once again would give you y equals negative x plus 8 when you substituted that in, which would leave you with a.